Tomorrow is the 101st anniversary of the Tulsa Race Massacre. A mob burned down much of the Greenwood district in one of the most tragic events in Oklahoma and American history, really. Tulsa's Greenwood Rising Museum hopes to shine a light on a story that went untold for years, while also highlighting the economic activity that thrived on what was called Black Wall Street. The executive director of the museum, Phil Armstrong, joins us to talk more about the mission behind Greenwood Rising. Thanks for being here, especially on a holiday weekend. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me, the museum opened a year ago. What's the last year been like?
It's been more than what we could ever expect. We had our plans. I wonder how many people are going to show up. I wonder how people are going to really respond when they come inside and see it. And it's been completely overwhelming. We're averaging now about 4,000 people a month since we opened the doors in August. We've exceeded 40,000 people, and that's people coming from all over the country, as well as, of course, Oklahoma. But it's amazing the responses that people send letters and send notes. Coming from Maine, me and my wife drove down from Colorado. People will just make the trip here, and when they get to Greenwood Rising, they're inspired then to, we'll go walk the district, go to Greenwood Cultural Center,
sure,
go to the John Franklin Park, go to Vernon AME, walk the streets of Greenwood. So it's having an impact on all of our organizations in the Greenwood area.
They kind of get a feel for what it was like 100 years ago, 101 years ago now.
And that's the whole key is, especially when people come here and they see the two buildings on a half a block of Greenwood and wonder, is this it? And when they get the history and they come inside and see how large it was, 10 to 12,000 African Americans, 33, 35 city blocks. And people, they stand there, you can see them thinking, like, how big that was, and a mile north, a half a mile wide. It's amazing history. And what we tell them is this is not a history center about or for the massacre. It's really a history center about the incredible lives that black people were able to live in Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Territory, long before there was a Greenwood Rising, long before there was a Black Wall Street. Oklahoma was this place that black people could come and live free. And that story, that incredible story is being told, and within that timeline there's this horrific 18 hours through hate and destruction that destroyed Greenwood. But it's here, and it's been here long before we started calling it Black Wall Street.
And that history is fascinating because, the all-black towns in Oklahoma as well, and during Indian Territory, Oklahoma Territory, and those towns were developed, and it's just, a lot of that stuff is not taught in school. I'm still surprised that the Tulsa Race Massacre was never taught to me in Oklahoma history, You were mentioning to me just a moment ago during the commercial break, but you're not only getting visitors from across the country, you're getting visitors worldwide to come to Tulsa.
Yes. So the furthest group that we know of, because people are visiting all the time, that makes themselves known was a group of research students, about 15 students from Sweden that came in to study this history and flew into America and wanted to see Greenwood Rising. Last month, I actually met for the first time the executive director of the Holocaust Museum from Johannesburg, South Africa, and she spent a day, came back 2 days later to see it again, and now she's corresponding with me. She said, how can I get you to South Africa? We want you this story there. So
word is spreading, isn't it?
It is. It really is.
That's wonderful to hear too. Tell me a little bit about one quick question. I know we're running a little bit out of time, but what do you have? What goals do you have? What do you have planned for the coming year? We've got 1 year under our belt, so to speak.
So our programming is really what's going to become a robust, and I should say robust because it's going to have so much intentionality. The philanthropic community here, as you know, is just incredible, and our corporate partners, but the bulk of our funding was for education. And so this fall, we will begin a very, very interactive and immersive field trip program, and it starts with Tulsa Public Schools. They were the first to actually develop their own curriculum, teaching it from the 3rd grade to the 12th grade. But that will begin with students coming from all over the region, and then it will expand to the state. And then we're going to have, we're introducing something called the Oklahoma Bus Battalion. Carrie Watkins, that runs the National Memorial in Oklahoma City, and I said, what would it be like if we got students on the bus from Tulsa, students on the bus from Oklahoma City, and had them crisscross the state and see each other's history.
What a great idea that is. I love that. Let us know when that gets going, because that would be a great follow-up for us to do. Well, thank you very much, Phil. We appreciate you being here on this holiday weekend and appreciate the work that you're doing as well.
Thank you so much.